Hello, welcome back to the Coloring Station by Shelly Books and More. It's me, yours truly, Shelly. Look, every story has a why. So I am telling you today, look, the why to Shelly Books and More, now the Coloring Station. So bear with me because this story is about 20 years long, but I'm gonna try to shorten it up as best as I can. Growing up as a kid, I was a person that was fortunate enough to grow up around books. Yes, grew up around tons of books, had a family of readers. My mom was a reader, my grandmother was a reader. Look, my aunts, my uncles, everybody was a reader in my family. So I grew up around books. And as a result of growing up around books, yes, I became a lover of books. And look, I'm gonna try not to use and too much. In addition to that, me being a lover of books, I was introduced to subscriptions. So my sister got me, my oldest sister, she got me a subscription to 17 magazine. Look, if you from my time, my era, you know about 17 magazine. And my aunt, my very sweet aunt, she blessed me with a subscription to Reader's Digest, at which that is one of the ways that I became accustomed to entering, look, writing contests. And so going into the schools, look, back then, I don't know how it is today, but back then we would be giving, look, information for if you want to enter this writing contest. It's an essay of no more than 500 words. I remember that all the time. And so, again, tying the two together, how I grew up around books, it allowed me to develop the love of writing. And so that led me to developing the love of entering writing contests. But the thing about the writing contest, what I observed, even being as young as I was, is that the writing contests, they often came and went. And so, being a kid that used to love to enter contests, I developed the thought of, if I was doing a contest, this is how it would be. And so that's how I ended up coming up with Shelly Books and More. It started with my love of entering contests, which again ties into my love of reading books. The knowledge that books have to give us coming from these big, beautiful brains of ours. And so, you know, as a young person being in my early 20s, didn't really quite understand how to bring it all together. But I knew I wanted to do something in regards to sponsoring what is now Shelly Books and More short story, poetry, art, and coloring contest. 18 and under, never ever any entry fees. It doesn't stop there. And so one of the other things that I observed from entering contests is that sometimes, not all the time, you would need to subscribe to a magazine. You may be required to have a subscription to, look, I don't know, the publishers, but sometimes it was always something. And so, again, going back to how I used to envision, if I created, my contest, I would always allow it to be free for the children. And look, here's another part. So, entering those contests, they always came and went. Didn't I just say that? They always came and went. And so, again, my little brain is clicking. Like, if I had a contest, it would never end. because I want to enter the contest, but it's the deadline. I missed it. So again, being a young person in my early 20s, going back to when I was a teenager, when I was in middle school, starting to enter those contests, I jotted down all of the things that I wanted to consist of my Family of Children contest. And that is the why and the how Shelly Books and More ended up developing. Look, the why. Did I explain the why? I feel like I explained the why because for me, I believe that the way Shelly Books and More is tying in our Family of Children contest, it promotes the love of reading, writing, and art. But you know what? That goes for any contest that's involving the arts with writing, coloring, drawing. It all promotes the love of reading, writing, and art. It really does, because the way your brain has to function. And you would notice, for me as a kid, children that take an interest in doing stuff like that, they're pretty smart kiddos. And not to say the ones that don't do it aren't smart, because we're all smart, but it takes a special kind of kiddo to really love to enter various contests. So I believe that if I am able to reach the children with our Family of Children contest, we will begin to be able to instill that love of reading, writing, and art. And the thing about it is, what I've learned from talking to different children doing this, older and younger, is that they don't realize that, one, we're all authors. Two, we're all artists. So when I ask them, what is the youngest age that you think of an author, usually I get the response of 30, 40, 50, 60. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if you guys only knew that authors are as young as you. They're 7, they're 8, they're 10, they're 12. Look, hey!
Hey, Mama.
How you doing?
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Look, my little visitor.
I'm gone.
He's so sweet. And so, yes, if children only knew that you are an author, you are an artist, enter our writing contest, our short story, our poetry. Tell us your story. You got a story to tell? Who are you? What do you enjoy doing? Who is your favorite person? Look, where do you see yourself 10, 5, 3 years from now? What is it that you would like to change? So again, this is all tying into why I created Shelly Books and More, is because we want to be able to reach the children, the youth, with the love of our Family of Children contest. I believe we can do it. My team believes that we can do it, that we can inspire these children with the love of reading, writing, and art, helping them realize their highest potential, helping them know that they are artists. Every single one of us are. Yeah. You think you're not an artist, but just sit down. Be patient with yourself, and you will see that you're more of an artist than you thought you were. And so at the coloring station, this is what we teach children. This is what we teach them, that they are artists. And so again, this is the why Shelly Books and More was created, and now the coloring station. Look, this is a 20-year story. So some people like to ask me, or some people feel confused about, well, why is it Shelly Books and More, and why is it the coloring station? So the way I try to help individuals understand that, so that they're not confused, is that Shelly Books and More, one, it does tie into my love of books. And two, we are content creators. We are creating children's books. We are creating coloring books. And so, yes, Shelly Books and More is a work in progress, but very, very soon in the future, I even see us being a publishing company. So that's why you have the More, Shelly Books and More. And Shelly Books and More is the one that is sponsoring the short story, poetry, art, and coloring contest with the children's books that we are creating, with the coloring books that we are creating. And you will go to our website and see that we have an e-commerce store. Everything that we do is surrounded by art. So you will see these beautiful mugs that we work with various artists in helping us to create. You will notice that for the most part, they are flowers because we love the flower of the month. Did you know you had a birth month flower? Look, I had to say that because most people don't know that they have a birth month flower, like you have birthstones. So yeah, so we wanted to bring that art, look, to Shelly Books and More, bringing awareness through creating our mugs that you have a flower of the month. Your birth month is your flower. And so again, that's answering the why. That's answering how Shelly Books and More, which is now the coloring station, all connects to one. The coloring station being by Shelly Books and More. Because again, going back to our Family of Children contest, we was looking for a way to bring awareness to our Family of Children contest. So when we started working with an after school program, when we started working with a couple of schools, when we started working with the library, it was like, yeah, coloring station just rolled off the tongue so naturally because we were setting up our coloring station, bringing our coloring books, bringing our crayons, our markers, bringing everything that the kids needed to do their art. And so it was like, yeah, this is the coloring station. And so that landed us at Fairlane Town Center Mall, where we now have our own location called the coloring station. So I really felt like I needed to take the time to kind of bring those two together. Look, the how, the why, the Shelly Books and More, and the coloring station, how they tie together. Because some people be like I'm kind of confused. Why do you have Shelly Books and More and the coloring station? They're one. They're the same. But the coloring station is by Shelly Books and More. It's still a work in progress. Pretty soon you're gonna see that we do have a major bookstore still with the coloring station inside of it. So that area where the kids and adults, come to color, paint, and draw is the coloring section part to Shelly Books and More. Now, does it make sense? I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't, you can always drop I need a little bit more clarification on that, but I hope it all now makes sense. That inside of Shelly Books and More, there's a coloring station. So that's how the two tie in together. Again, giving you the what, the why. So I think I did a pretty good job of, narrowing down the 20 years. Oh, wow. Well, I guess I can go a little bit deeper why it took 20 years to make it happen. Mainly because the concept was before its time. That's just what it boils down to. It was absolutely before its time. So actually it was a little more than 20 years ago because my son is now 25 years old. And so ever since he was about 2 years old, I started talking to him about this. And so we didn't have the internet. We didn't have print on demand. I mean, yes, we had ways of creating t-shirts, but I didn't have all of the resources that I needed to make it happen. And I wanted to be able to be self-funded. I wanted my family of children contest to be funded by my company. And so it was like, well, what can I do? So at the time, even though I knew what I wanted to do, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't see myself as an artist. To be honest with you, I didn't even see myself as an author, but I do have a book that I am writing. Actually, I finished it, but I'm still revising it. And so I didn't want to put out, look, the first, second, third, or maybe even fourth revision. Not that it can be perfect, look, because the first book is probably never perfect unless you just that perfect genius author. So, you know, my book is still in a it's a work in progress, but it's coming. It is finished. I've already revised it about 2 times. But yeah, I didn't even see myself as an author, but I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. And so being so young, I didn't understand, you know, how to network with schools. I didn't know how to position myself with schools to say, hey, I have this idea, you know, can I share it with you? I didn't know. And so time goes by so quickly. And again, you know, creating this, I honestly do feel it was before its time, because YouTube didn't exist. TikTok didn't exist. Reels didn't exist. So it was like, yeah, I believe it took 20 years for God, the creator, however you want to refer to him as or her. Look, I'm not judging. It took time to bring all of those pieces together. But now I truly believe that the pieces fit so well, so perfect together. Everything came together as it was supposed to. And so now I have Shelly Books and More and the Coloring Station. And we are sponsoring our nationwide short story, poetry, art, and coloring contest every single month for the kids, awarding cash and prizes, never ever any entry fees. And look, the entries do not expire as long as they are under the age of 18. We always have the opportunity to pull their entry, at which I love to talk about how it took us a year to pull this one entry. Yes, it took us a whole year to pull her, but guess what? We was able to contact her and she was waiting. So that's the excitement to what we do. Why I just feel so in love with our Family of Children contest, that the children at any given time, look, we can pull them. When most contests, once you hit that deadline, whoo, it's garbage, whoo, it's gone. Not with us. But of course, all things must come to an end. But as long as they are not over the age of 18, I've created a system that allows us to go back at any time and pull their entries, as long as we can get in contact with them. So I think that just about sums it up. Look, I love you guys. I look forward to continuing to share this journey, this story, because it is a story. Shelly Books and More is a story. It is. It's a story. And now you just got, look, just a little glimpse of the story. But I look forward to you following this journey, learning more about the journey as I'm learning it myself. Look, I don't know everything. I'm still putting all of the pieces together, but the major pieces have been put together. And look, it's never ending, right? One of the cool things about our contest is that we look to present the children in person. Yes, we look to present them in person. So that means if they enter in New York, baby, we are coming to New York. If they enter from California, guess what? Yours truly is coming to California. We could end up sneaking up on you in your school. Wouldn't that be awesome? You could end up getting a and knock at the door. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh my gosh. Again, that's the love of what Shelley Books and More is doing. Because it is Shelley Books and More that is sponsoring our Family of Children contest. And now we've created the coloring station that allows the children and adults, because we don't forget about us adults. We also love to color, paint, and draw. But it gives a space for people, children, to come in and express their creativity. It gives me a space to be able to motivate the children, inspire the children with the love of reading, writing, and art. And so, yes, you guessed it, there is definitely a coloring station that is coming near you. Look, they're already everywhere, but they can't be by Shelley Books and More. Look, did my light just go out? Yes, it did. That means it is time to say goodbye. Toodles.